نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، فإني أشكر الله سبحانه وتعالى على ما من به علينا من هذا اللقاء مرة أخرى مع إخواننا في الله. أسأل الله أن يجعل هذه الدروس مباركة نافعة لنا جميعا. آمين. I praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thank Him for allowing us once again to meet with you, my dear brothers and family, here at the ICPB, the Islamic Center of Palm Beach. Here in this visit, alhamdulillah, with you in the Rabi' al-Akhir of the year 1440 of the Hijrah, the beginning of the month of January of the year 2019. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we praise Him and we ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala to make these classes that we're going to have together bi'idhnillah be blessed classes and beneficial for all of us. Likewise, as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the Sahih Hadith, لا يشكر الله من لا يشكر الناس. He does not thank the people, actually he does not thank Allah, the one who does not thank the people. So I'd like to thank the community here at the Masjid, at the Islamic Center of Palm Beach for your efforts. Alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah khairan. Been trying their best here for years, alhamdulillah, disseminating proper knowledge of Tawheed, sound creed and the Sunnah, calling to the understanding of Salaf al-Salih, the companions of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. Allah reward you all. And please continue the good work. Jazakumullah khairan. So, bi'idhnillah, we're going to have 5 sessions about this book that you have a copy in English. I would love if we have it in Arabic too, but it's not available, but it's on PDF actually, online. Those who want the book, you can download it right now in Arabic. You just put on the Google search 10 قواعد في تزكية النفوس. 10 قواعد في تزكية النفوس فضيلة الشيخ الدكتور عبد الرزاق البدر, and you will have it in PDF, alhamdulillah, as I'm going to read from that, inshallah ta'ala. This is a great topic, no doubt, because it is about the purification of the soul. And as we're going to have in these 5 sessions, if we finish them in 5 sessions, inshallah, because if the soul is purified, we shall see a lot of good, alhamdulillah, a lot of good, tremendous good. So inshallah ta'ala, once again, we will continue. So you can, alhamdulillah ta'ala, follow with me, take notes. Sometimes we may have to interact with one another, may ask you questions. So this is for us to come up with the benefit. It's not like just one of us reading, the other one holding a book. But rather, I advise you and myself first, inshallah ta'ala, to clear your intentions right now and make it sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And make the best of these gatherings right now that we have in here. It's not enough to just be here physically, but you gotta be here mentally as well. Your heart has to be here, your mind has to be present. Focus. Let nothing distract you. Because that's how you get the most. And that's what makes the difference in the end of the day. Or in this case, in the end of the class. That's what makes the difference. Some of us, we space out. We be thinking about something. It takes one vibration, one call, one missed call, and miss you up. No, take you out of the benefit. Better if you're not anticipating some serious call, just turn off your phone. Don't let it be a distraction. And focus, inshallah ta'ala, so that, because what we learn in here is for us to practice. Remember, alhamdulillah, we're Muslims. Allah guide us to Islam. Allah guide us to the way of the Salaf, alhamdulillah. That's a beautiful thing. But it doesn't make us perfect. Every one of us should know his own shortcomings, should know his soul. I don't think that anyone amongst us here, Allahu A'lam, I can speak only about myself, let's say, I don't need this class. What is it? Purification of the soul? My soul is straight, man. Purified, 100%. Can anyone make that statement? I know I'm not that person. I know I have a lot to work on my soul. And we have the Salaf, subhanAllah, the great example for us. When you hear some of them making statements that for years, 10 years, 20 years plus, working to purify themselves and their souls so that it be obedient soul. But what about us? We live in this time, and subhanAllah, many things are against us and taking us away from what we're supposed to be doing. So we need to struggle and strive. Well, at least, alhamdulillah, try your best to complete this book with us, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? Jazakumullah khair. Do your best. Now, so I'm going to read, because inshallah it's always good to read the Arabic text, and then we have the translation, inshallah. 10 قواعد في تزكية النفس إعداد الشيخ عبد الرزاق بن عبد المحسن البدر غفر الله له ولوالديه. This is from the book that was put together by the Shaykh Abd al-Razzāq, the son of Abd al-Muhsin al-Badr. May Allah preserve both of them, ameen. قال الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين نبينا وقدوتنا وقرة أعيننا محمد بن عبد الله الهادي الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن سار على هديه إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Says, the praise is for Allah, Lord of all the creation. May peace and blessings be upon the noblest of the prophets, and the seal of the messengers, our prophet, and the role model, the good example, the coolness of our eyes, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the trustworthy, and the guide, the one whom Allah sent as a guide to us, and upon his family and companions altogether, as well as whoever traverses upon their guidance until the day of recompense. And to proceed, the Shaykh says, first of all, before he brings the first of these 10 principles, we're going to read a little bit in the introduction. He brought an introduction to tell us something about the soul, that he's going to bring some 10 principles that will, inshallah, be idnillah, if we pay attention to them and we're sincere and we're willing to implement, inshallah ta'ala, we will see the difference, and it will help us, inshallah ta'ala. But first he's going to talk about the nafs, the soul that should be purified. He's going to tell us something about. قال فالنفس التي بين جنبي الإنسان أمرها عظيم وشأنها كبير. The affair of the soul, which is within the body of the person, is tremendous, and its status is great. So that's the first thing we know. This is not something that is to take lightly. No, this is something that is serious and tremendous. فقد أقسم الله عز وجل بعدد من مخلوقاته الكبار الدالة على عظمته سبحانه وتعالى كما في سورة الشمس على النفس المفلحة وغير المفلحة. Allah the Almighty has sworn by many of His magnificent created beings, indicating His greatness subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, the Surah Al-Shams. And there is so many other examples. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ والنازعات والطور والنجم والعاديات والمرسلات. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He swears by many of the creation. And there is a fa'idah here, benefit that the ulama, they mention, our noble scholars. It is only for Allah to swear by any of His creation He wishes subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why you find in many ayats and surahs, Allah swears, as we just give you an example, wal-asr. That's where wal-qasam, wal-asr, wal-najm, wal-fajr, wal-tor, wal-adiyat. So, but as for us, we swear only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't swear by something else. You don't say wal-duha. You want to swear, and you say wal-Kaaba. People do that. People, they swear by the Kaaba. They say by the Kaaba, wal-Kaaba. Some people, they swear by the Nabi, by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is one of the mistakes. That is a famous mistake. One Nabi. Some Muslims, they say one Nabi. Instead of say Wallah, they say one Nabi. That's not correct. It's a big mistake. So we should swear by Allah. And even with that, we don't swear by Allah all the time. Swear by Allah if it's needed. Speak the truth, alhamdulillah. Don't lie, because lying is forbidden in Islam. And we speak the truth. People, they believe you, alhamdulillah. They don't believe you, so hey, you have no power over the people. But if you are, for example, in a position that you are requested by the judge, for example, to swear, then you swear. But you always swear on that which is right and that which is true. Never swear on something that is false. And also swear only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't swear by the Kaaba, by the Nabi, and the like. Now, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Shams, He swears by the successful soul and by the unsuccessful soul. So just from here you know that the soul can be successful and can be not, and cannot be successful. And of course, an obvious question, you want your soul to be successful or not? What's the answer? Huh? Yes. You want to be successful. You have successful soul, not something else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ. Look, all of this is qasam. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قال تعالى قد أفلح من زكاها أي من زكى نفسه وقد خاب وخسر من الخيب والخسران من دساها. The Shaykh يبين. So the translations and the meanings of the Surah Al-Shams, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swear by the sun and its brightness, and by the moon as it follows it, and by the day as it shows up, meaning the sun's brightness, and by the night as it conceals it, meaning conceal the sun, and by the heaven and him who built it, and by the nafs, here the soul, and him who perfected him in proportion. Then he showed him what is wrong for him and what is right for him. Indeed, he succeeds who purifies his soul. Allahu Akbar. He's successful, the one who purifies his soul. But it's going to take some work. And it's going to happen like that. Like, Riyadu Billah, some, people who do not follow the Quran and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf, they follow innovations and what people bring to them instead of following these means that we're going to learn that, alhamdulillah, they purify the soul. They just do something else, like the Sufis. Tell me, you want to purify your soul? for instance, as the Shaykh is going to mention later on, they tell them, okay, you have to go for 1 month or more or less in some cave in the dark and say this adhkar that they give them. The Prophet ﷺ never said that adhkar. That's going to help you to purify your soul. Bid'ah does not help you. Innovation does not help a person to purify his soul. They just make of him a weird person. He's going to go in a cave for 20 days alone, saying something that the Prophet ﷺ never said, Sahaba never said. And what do you think? He's going to come back and live with you? Subhanallah. La, it's not how things is done. Prophet ﷺ never tell us go to the cave for 20 days in the dark and stay by yourself. And no. You can stay with your family, go to work, go to school, do what you're going to do, and you can still purify yourself by means that are legislated, not means that are invented and innovated. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. طيب. So indeed he succeeds who purifies it, and indeed he fails who corrupts it. The Shaykh, he says, قول الله تعالى قد أفلح من زكاها. As for the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed he succeeds who purifies it. It here means the soul, who purifies his soul. قال أصل الزكاة هي الزيادة في الخير. والمراد بالآية هنا أن من سعى في تزكية نفسه من سعى في تزكية لا بد من السعي. الأمر ما يأتي هكذا. من سعى في تزكية نفسه وإصلاحها وسموها بالاستكثار من الطاعات. شوف كيف تزكي نفسك؟ الاستكثار من الطاعات والخيرات والابتعاد من الشرور والسيئات تحقق فلاحه. الله أكبر. Then the Shaykh says, the origin of a zakat, this term zakat, it means to increase in good. To increase in good. What is intended by the verse, indeed he succeeds who purify his soul, is that whoever strives to purify and rectify his soul, so this is the deen of actions. This is not something that you're going to sit back in one corner, your head's down in a dark, and after 3 days you become a sheikh, or your heart's going to be cleansed. That doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to do something. You have to strive. You don't just go to the marketplace and sit in a corner the whole day, and then by the end of the day you have $1,000 in your pocket. It doesn't work like that. You got to make it to the market, and you have to work right on. People are working, and you're sitting and say, la, this is another way to make money. You're going to sit right here, put your head down, and close your eyes. By the end of the day, you make some money. It's not going to happen like that. You got to work. Likewise, our souls can be purified, can be good souls, mashallah, righteous, pure, and purified, but we have to do some striving. We have to work. So it means that whoever strives to purify and rectify his soul and to elevate it, how? How you do that? Listen to the right ways, not the ways that you may hear here or there, or some Sufis tell you, by way of doing an abundance of acts of obedience and good deeds. That's what's going to purify the soul. By learning what Allah commands us to do, and say, I got to act on this because Allah commands us only what's good for us. That's what it is. I got to be obedient servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people, they don't obey Allah, but they obey some men. Allah tells us how to purify our souls in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ, he's the best example. If he wants to purify our souls, yes we can, but we have to do it his way, how he did it. But some people, no. But it takes one man, I don't know where he's from, and tell them, no, this is how you do it, this guarantee you're going to purification of the soul. And then they go for it. And that man, he's not a prophet. And we have the best example, is the example of our noble Prophet ﷺ. So once again, how you purify your soul, how you elevate its status with Allah, is by way of doing an abundance of acts of obedience and good deeds and staying away from evils and sins, then that person will have actualized its success. So that's what success of the soul means. Be obedient to Allah and stay away from disobedience. In another way, do good and stay away from bad. Do the righteous good deeds and stay away from bad deeds and evil deeds and sin. But are we perfect? I'm asking you a question. No, we're not. Yes, we're not in the same level. Some, mashallah, they're mindful. Most of their time they're aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they always want to do what is good. They follow the means that keep them on that path. Others, they wrong themselves. But remember, we're Muslims, alhamdulillah, and we have this beautiful deen of Islam that teach us we should never ever despair of the mercy of Allah. Because Allah tells us that in the Quran. لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. In Surah Al-Zumar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, O my servants who have wronged themselves with sins, never despair of the mercy of Allah, for verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all sins. Why? Because from His names, Al-Ghafur, the oft forgiving, Ar-Rahim, the most merciful subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, this doesn't mean this. The ulama, this ayah, this verse, which is a great verse that shows the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rahmah, ya ikhwan, this rahmah that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it is 100 parts. And Allah sent one part of the 100 in this dunya. One part. And He kept with Him 99 parts for Yawm al-Qiyamah. So always think good about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On account that you do what you're supposed to do, be Muslim, be upon Tawheed, try your best to be a good Muslim, not just Muslim by name and by affiliation and do whatever you want. No, try your best, be sincere, and try your best to be a good Muslim. And think nothing but good about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at all of the mercy that we have. People are merciful to each other, the mother to her children. Very wrong. The good people are merciful to others, and there's even animals, ikhwan. The cat, so merciful to her babies. The animals, it's amazing. There's all of that from one part. And Allah has with Him 99, so think good about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you have to prepare yourself to that day as well, inshallah ta'ala. Now, قال الشيخ وقوله أي قول الله عز وجل وقد خاب من دساها. And as for the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said, and indeed He fails who corrupts it, who corrupts his own soul. قال أصل التدسية هو الإخفاء. فالعاصي قد أخفى نفسه الكريمة بفعل آثام. أخفاها وطمرها بالرذائل والخسائس وقمعها وأهلكها بفعل العيوب حتى صارت نفسا دنيئة وضيعة منحطة واستحقت بذلك الخيبة والخسران والعياذ بالله. The origin of corruption here, this word tadsiya, is to conceal. For the sinner has concealed his noble soul by way of committing sins. And he has buried it by way of despicable and by him performing low, base, despicable acts. Of course, shaitan, he beautified those acts. Shaitan comes and those low and base and vile and despicable acts that we should stay away from. Shaitan put a nice, whatever, beautiful ornament on them, and the nafs wants it, you should strive and say, La, I can't do that. This is not good for me because this is not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants for me. This is not from the things that are going to help me to purify my soul. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse. Now, so therefore this person who commit this despicable act has suppressed and destroyed his soul by committing iniquity such that it came to be a dirty, lowly and vile soul, due to which it is deserving of destruction and loss, and the refuge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, subhanAllah, it's amazing. We as a human being, we always want to look good, right? The outer appearance, our appearance. You don't leave the house until you check in the mirror and you see your face. If there is anything that is you don't want the people to see in your face, what do you do? Take care of it. Clean it. Likewise, your clothing. If you see something on your clothing or it smells something, it's not even bad, you change it. What about, we should, alhamdulillah, that sins don't smell. Can you imagine one of the Salaf says, if the sins smell, we won't be able to sit next to each other. Very wrong. Can you imagine if the sins and disobedience and the bad things we do, and every one of us should know himself, can you imagine they have bad smells? You think, man, you will be sitting right here? Illa man rahimallah. But alhamdulillah, that doesn't have bad smell, but you should know it. You should smell it yourself. And we should see, what's more important is that what do you know about yourself? What do I know about myself? I shouldn't be deceived by what other people think of me. We should be. Sometimes we just like be looking for that praise and people, oh, he's a good brother, mashallah. He's, mashallah. But can you say the same thing? Be honest, say the same thing about yourself. Can your wife say the same thing about you? Can your children say the same thing about you? Can our children say, yes, that man, what he said about my father? He's a good man? Yeah, he's right, my father is a very good man. Can the wife really say that? Sometimes the man's wife say, Akhi, get it together, fear Allah. You're doing a lot of bad things, man. And he goes, it doesn't matter what you say, the brothers know me. The brothers know you? You put on the show because you see them in the masjid, alhamdulillah, no, she knows you better than them. So it's very important, ya akhwan. It's very important for us. We shouldn't be looking at what the people praise us, what they say about us, and we say, mashallah, that's good. La, you should know yourself and correct it, alhamdulillah. And that's the purpose of this talks, inshallah ta'ala bi'idhnillah. Now, then the Shaykh mentioned a statement of this great Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah. Ibn al-Qayyim, as in his book Al-Fawaid, great book Al-Fawaid. And by the way, Ibn al-Qayyim, they call him, he has a nickname, the ulama, they call him Tabib al-Qulub. They call him the heart doctor. And he got this name not because he was the first one that practiced, open heart surgery, no. Because his talks and his books, they help the person purify his heart and his soul. SubhanAllah, tremendous, his statements. So let's see what he said here. He says, فَالنُّفُوسُ الشَّرِيفَةِ لَا تَرْضَ مِنَ الْأَشْيَاءِ إِلَّا بِأَعْلَاهَا وَأَفْضَلِهَا وَأَحْمَدِهَا عَاقِبًا والنفوس الدنيئة تحوم حول الدناءات وتقع عليها كما يقع الذباب على الأقذار. سبحان الله. قال فالنفس الشريفة العلية لا ترضى بالظلم ولا بالفواحش ولا بالسرقة ولا الخيانة لأنها أكبر من ذلك وأجل. والنفس المهينة الحقيرة الخسيسة بالضد من ذلك. فكل نفس تميل إلى ما يناسبها ويشاكلها. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala said, noble souls are not pleased except with lofty things, the best of things, which have the best outcome. And we all understand that. When you pray, you feel good, right or wrong? When you fast, you feel good. When you give zakat and charity, you feel awesome, good. You're nice to your parents, and they say, Jazakallah khair, may Allah give you Jannat al-Firdaus. How do you feel? You feel good. You make Hajj and you come back what? Happy. Very happy. You come to the masjid for Isha and attend the class and go home. And then your family, your wife, she know you've been to the masjid. And you're so happy because you're doing this. But when one of us is concealing something, hiding something, playing here, doing things there, you don't feel good, right or wrong? You don't want nobody to know what you're doing, right? You're fasting, you wish everybody know, which is not the case. You're supposed to conceal things. Okay? But when we do bad things, subhanAllah, you don't want nobody to know about it. And then if somebody know, you have to deal with the consequences, right or wrong? And it brings a lot of problems and all that, subhanAllah. And give an example. If one of us is married, for example, and then his wife, she just went to do something on a computer or whatever, and he was here before her, and she saw that she just opened the computer and the page. The brother, her husband did not close the page. And he was like a hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, huh? She's going to be what? Happy or not? She'll say, Alhamdulillah. He used his time nicely and wisely. And she's going to come and with a big smile, right or wrong? And said, Jazakallah khair. Share with me, what would you doing in that computer, right? And he's going to say, some hadith on sidq, on truthfulness, on this, on that. Can you imagine if that brother was doing something bad in that computer? And he has to go to his bathroom, maybe has diarrhea or something. He'll rush to the bathroom. Huh? He didn't even have the time to do what he... Huh? And then his wife come and she's like, let me get the homework for the kids, homework. And then she opened the computer and she says something that she was like, Allahul Musta'an. And he gonna hear his name, right? She's calling him right now. Man, that trip to the bathroom may be the longest in his life. He don't want to come out, right or wrong? Because he's not like... See, but sometimes we have to think about these things before we do these things. We have to think, because shaitan is over. He's always there. And what the shaitan, what does he do actually? He just invites. Send invitations. Whenever you get an invitation from the shaitan, you should know for sure, with certainty, that it has no good whatsoever in it. Just burn it down. Throw it away in the trash. That's where it belongs. But if you open it and want to be nosy and want to see what it is, you still don't know how the shaitan works. Shaitan wants no good for you whatsoever. Now, so Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullah, he says, noble souls are not pleased except with lofty things, the best of things, which has the best outcome. Lowly souls linger around lowly things and fall into them just as flies fall upon filth. SubhanAllah. The noble and lofty soul is not pleased with oppression, lewdness, theft, or deception, just as examples. He just gives us examples. But you can add all of the vile and low and base and despicable characteristics. He said this is because it is greater and nobler than that. But the lowly, despicable, and wretched soul is the opposite of this. So each soul will incline to that which is appropriate for it and that which it suits it. Now, قال الشيخ ولما كانت تزكية النفس بهذه الأهمية وجب على كل مسلم ناصح لنفسه أن يعنى بها عناية فائقة وأن يجاهد نفسه في حياته على تحقيق هذه الغاية الحميدة ليفلح في دنياه وأخراه وينعم بالسعادة الحقيقية. Shaykh al-Razzāq said, since purifying the soul has this level of importance, so it is obligatory upon each Muslim who desires good for himself to give great importance to it, to his soul, and to struggle against his soul Because the soul is going to call you to this, want to do this, want to say this, want to look at this, want to eat this, want to get involved in this. It's like you're riding a horse or a camel, for example. You don't let the camel take you wherever he wants to go. No, you direct him to get you where he wants to go, right or wrong. Likewise, the car. You don't just get in the car, turn on, and put it in the gear and close your eyes and let the car take you wherever. No, you gotta have direction, and you're supposed to know before even you get in that car where you want to go, right or wrong. You don't get in a car and start driving and then like, where am I going? That's not right. You're supposed to know where you're going before you get in. And then you stick to the plan. Now you're coming to the masjid. Don't change your plan now before you know it. Oh no, he's somewhere else. No, stick to the plan that is good for you. Barakallahu feekum. Now, so since purifying the soul has this level of importance, it is obligatory upon each Muslim who desires good for himself to give great importance to it and to struggle against his soul within his life in actualizing this praiseworthy goal, in order that he or she may be successful in this worldly life and his hereafter, and so that he or she may enjoy true happiness. Amen. Barakallahu feekum. قال وللنفس على المسلم حقا كما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وإن لنفسك عليك حقا. Shaykh says, the soul has a right upon you. Now, you as a Muslim, your soul has a right upon you. As the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم says, وإن لنفسك عليك حقا. Indeed, your soul has a right upon you. So we as Muslims, we don't just do whatever we want to do. We live our lives like this is the only life we have. No. And we eat whatever we want. We look at what we're rent. We drink whatever. We do whatever. And we're negligent, reckless. No. We know that everything we do, whether it's going to be for us or against us when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's going to help us at least to try to make the right decision. But at the moment of weakness, if we fall short and if we, mashallah, stumble, then always try to pick yourself up. It's okay. You may be good in one area and struggle in another area. The area that you're good at may be the weakest area for somebody else. And the area that you're struggling with, somebody, mashallah, he's like, no, he's good at that. But we should always, alhamdulillah, we thank Allah. If you're doing good in certain areas, thank Allah. Don't grow arrogant. Thank Allah and say, alhamdulillah, this is from Allah. And ask Allah firmness upon that good, as Shaykh Abd said. And if you find yourself negligent and doing some bad things, they said, well, Abbād, because we're human. We all wrong ourselves and we have our shortcomings. He said, then you have to do something about it. Same way you have a nice car, but he has a problem here and there. You don't ignore the problem. You wanted a nice car for real. And you fix it. You have a nice house, but there is a leak here and there. Leak, a small leak. But if you ignore it, what happens after that? What is it going to be? It's going to be a big problem. Based on, water go here and there and there. Same thing, this thing you do today, tomorrow you're struggling, you're facing, today you did it in the basement, tomorrow, I don't know, what do you want, to another state, you think you're alone. You're not alone, man. You know what they say, what goes around? Comes around. You all know that, alhamdulillah, good thing. That's it. But we have to say, look, man, enough is enough. I gotta be a good Muslim, I gotta be nice, I gotta be a righteous person, inshallah. And that's what's going to help us, inshallah ta'ala. Now, قال ويخطئ من يظن أن حق النفس يكون بالتشديد عليها وحرمانها من حقوقها التي فطر الله النفوس على الاحتياج إليها كما يخطئ من يظن أن حق النفس يكون بالتفريط وإهمال سياستها وتركها منغمسة في شهواتها ونحو ذلك. He says it's a big mistake when a person believes that the right of the soul is that one should be harsh upon it and deprives it of its rights that Allah has created with an innate need for. An example, some people they say, oh, the only way you're going to be righteous in this, no marriage, no women. Wrong. Don't look at it that way. Look, get married, alhamdulillah. It's good for you. All right, person, he's not going to get married and he's full of desire. What are you going to do now? No. You get married because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legislate marriage for us. Alhamdulillah. Prophet ﷺ got married. Other prophets, they got married. Marriage is good as long as you do it the right way and learn about it and do it for the right reason. And this doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect. There is no marriage that is problem-free. It's just what makes the difference at the end of the day. Some of us, we know how to deal with our problems, and some they don't. That's how it makes a difference. How can that? Some people, they deprive. They say, oh, the only way he's going to be righteous and pious, he's not going to eat steak and lobsters and fish. No, this is not how you look at things, man. Steaks, if it's halal, it's good food. Right or wrong? You know, fish is good food. But some people say, la, only bread. Some they say, no, only dates and water. Why, brother? Because hadith. What did the hadith say, brother? Did the hadith say don't eat meat? Eat only dates? If you want to be righteous, eat only dates and drink water? Or the hadith, like Hadith Aisha said, well, this is the case. Sometimes for months, that's all we eat. So nobody should use the hadith without having the proper understanding. Because some people, may actually, years ago, maybe like over almost 20 years ago, he was this individual in the masjid, and he's like, I want to practice sunnah, always in the masjid, mashallah, always. But then he don't want to eat nothing. Just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and this is it, and water. When the food comes, like chicken, rice, he's like, dunya, brother, give me some bread. People are eating rice and fish and goat, and his peanut butter sandwich. And he thinks like this is the right way, and this is a sunnah. No, it's not the case. Eat halal and eat upon moderation. Okay? Eat halal. Make sure that the food you eat is halal and eat upon moderation. You don't live to eat. No, you eat enough, alhamdulillah, but you are not created to just eat and follow your shahawat, your desires. وهكذا. So the Shaykh says, likewise, he has erred who believes that the right of the soul is that one is negligent and neglectful of its management and leaves it drowning in its lust and the like. So these are like two extremes here. Some people, they deprive themselves from halal. Allah make it halal and permissible for them and think that they're going to be better than others. While others, they don't care. Halal, haram, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They just, whatever comes in front of them is gone. No. You're going to be in the middle course, alhamdulillah. Now, قال الشيخ وهيهات أن تكون تزكية النفس بمثل ذلك بل تزكية النفس تكون بالمسالك الشرعية وبالتوسط والاعتدال فلا إفراط ولا تفريط بل بلزوم هدي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ونهجه القويم. The Shaykh says, purification of the soul, if totally, or is totally different from the likes of this. Purification of the soul is. See, that's a mistake, that's a print, not if. It's supposed to be is. Correct it, inshallah, okay? That's one of the good ways you read with. So you may detect some misprints here and there. تزكية النفس بمثل ذلك. Purification of the soul is totally different from the likes of this. Rather, purification of the soul is by way of the legislative methods. So we're not supposed to come with our own ways and how you purify your soul. Just say, listen, the best of the people has preceded us. Very wrong. Who I'm talking about? Prophet Sallallahu and Sahaba. Nobody will worship Allah better than them. Nobody will worship Allah better than the Prophet Sallallahu. So that's why Allah says, اتَّبِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُمْ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا مِن دُونِهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ. Follow that which was revealed to you and don't follow anything else. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he used to say, اتَّبِعُوا وَلَا تَبْتَدِعُوا فَقَدْ كُفِيتُمْ. Follow and do not innovate. You have been given enough. Meaning follow the Sunnah. Follow the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ that he has left for the Ummah. Don't come up with new ways. Ahlul Bid'ah, they come with new ways. And they take the people away from what's good for them. Instead of tell the people, look, these are the things that will help you purify your soul. No, they tell them something else that they come up with themselves. So when somebody says, where do you bring this from? They don't tell you, oh, Allah says, the Messenger says, as the Shaykh is going to mention. They say, oh, Shaykh said. Shaykh al-Tariq al-Husafiyya. So he will get all the credit for himself. Oh, he said that? Oh, yeah. Oprah said, man. Oprah said that? Oh, yeah. So all the followers of Oprah, you remember that lady Oprah, right? Yeah, she's not on showbiz anymore, alhamdulillah. So Allah guide her. But some people who likes her, whatever she said, they take it right wrong. That's it. She's an idol for them. Whatever that lady said, they like, take it. Oprah said. We Muslims, we don't say Oprah said. What do we say? قال Allah. What do we say, Rayyan? قال الله وقال من? قال الله. أحسنت. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah says, the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم says, with the understanding of who? The Sahaba رضوان الله عليهم. هكذا السلف الصالح بارك الله فيكم. نعم. So this is the methods that we follow, بارك الله فيكم. Purification of the soul is by way of the legislative methods, balance and moderation, such that there is neither negligence nor exaggeration. You gotta be in the middle course, man. Don't go far to the right because you're gonna get hurt, and don't go far to the left. You're gonna get in trouble. When you're driving on a road, and there is like 3 lanes, where are you gonna be at? What is the safest lane? Huh? The middle lane. Not the right.
You gotta take the first exit.
Well, you don't want to take the exit, you want to stay on the path. So you don't want to like go far to the right. What's going to happen? You run out of lanes. There's only one lane to your right and one lane to your left. If you pass them, what's going to happen? You're going to run to something. Mountain, tree, ditch, whatever. A whole block of houses. If you go to the left, the same thing. Same thing in this path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You got to stay on the path of Allah. If you go far to the right, you're going to run to trouble. You go too far to the left, you're going to run to trouble. So you want to stick to the middle course. Alhamdulillah. Now, instead it is by clinging to the guidance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ثم قال الشيخ قال وسأذكر في هذا المختصر 10 قواعد مهمة تعين المسلم على تزكية نفسه وتنميتها وتطهيرها من كل ما يدنسها ويشينها. The Shaykh said I will mention within this concise work 10 important principles which will assist the Muslim in purifying and strengthening his soul as well as cleansing it from everything which would sully and defile it. قال وأسأل الله تعالى أن يزكي نفوسنا وأن يصلح أعمالنا وأن يسدد أقوالنا وأن يبصرنا بالحق ويرزقنا اتباعه وأن يهدينا لأحسن الأخلاق والأعمال وأن يصرف عنا سيئها وأن يجنبنا الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. And then the Shaykh he says, and he make dua, alhamdulillah. He said he's going to mention, after this introduction, he says he's going to mention some principles. Some principles, alhamdulillah, very important principles that if we understand them correctly, alhamdulillah, and are willing to implement them the right way and stick to them, inshallah, we're going to see a big difference in our lives. Alhamdulillah. We're going to be better persons, better servants of Allah. And if you're a better servant of Allah, you got to be a better husband, you got to be better father, you got to be better son, you got to be better neighbor, worker, employer. Whatever you are doing, you be a better teacher, better friend, better neighbor. You be better at everything, inshallah ta'ala. Then he make dua, so they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our souls and to rectify our actions and to make our statements upright. He said, I ask him, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to enlighten us with the truth and to provide us with adherence to it. Ameen. And to guide us to the best of character and deeds. Ameen. And I ask him to turn evil characters and deeds away from us and to keep us away from fitan, trial and tribulation. Ameen. That which is apparent and that which is hidden. And he said, may Allah bestow his blessings and peace upon our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ family and companions. We want to stop here too for this first session, inshallah ta'ala, and we will continue tomorrow on Sunday. But I just want to have a request from you. You have the book now. Please, tomorrow, the next session is going to be after Asr. It's going to be after Asr. Okay? It's going to be after Asr bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what I want you and what I request from you is that, insha'Allah ta'ala, you read the first principle, second, we may cover a couple of them tomorrow, inshallah. We may cover the first, the second, or even the third. So what I want you to do is to read these things, insha'Allah ta'ala, so that bi'idhnillah, when you come, it becomes easy for you to understand. See, this is not just for any topic, any chapter, any topic, math, physics, science, whatever, IT, Arabic, Quran, tafsir, hadith. If you read it and prepare for it before you go to the class, it makes it much, much easier for you to understand it. Because you already know what they're going to talk about. You know, mashallah, you know the ayats, you know the ahadith. And who knows, you may even, mashallah, search, and you may, mashallah, come prepared with some notes from the mashayikh, from the sahaba, and you'll be able to help, inshaAllah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum, wa jazakumullahu khairan. Sallallahu wa sallam ala Muhammad wa ala alihi, sahbihi wa sallam wa taslim. Before you go, we're going to take 5-10 minutes to inshallah ta'ala, we'll listen to you, brother, because this is like an effort, a collective effort. Okay? So we don't want just like, I'm reading, you're listening, and then we go home. Let us, inshallah ta'ala, review together. Who can give us like benefits from today's class? Now, tfaddal.
Is the whole thing is like way how you try to implement how to control the nafs al-amara bis-su'.
Ahsant, we're learning here how to control our souls. Because listen, we have to be sincere. Most, if not all of the trouble we get ourselves, it's not because the person standing next to me. It's easy to blame it on somebody else. We're wrong. We're not going to blame it on no government here or no white or black man, none of this. It's you and me. Whatever you get yourself into, just say, look, I must have something to do with this. Because it's easy to blame it on somebody. And if you blame it on somebody else, now this is this problem. Now you're not going to be able to correct anything, okay? Say, that's me. I did that. Even if somebody pushed you to it, so why did you go? Did that person come and snatch you out of your house and push you? Now you went there. Jazakumullah khair. Now, Adam.
To purify the soul is by being obedient to Allah and staying away from sins.
I know. This is the real stuff now. How are we going to obey, purify my soul, make it better? Obedience to Allah. And staying away from haram. Same way, you want to wash your nice clothing. How you wash them? With what?
Cleaners.
Huh?
Take it to the cleaners.
Ahsant. That's the easiest way. Take it to the cleaner. But if you want to do it yourself, how you wash them? With what? Naam, Ryan?
Is there a one-stop shop to have to purify the soul, like a dry cleaner would do?
For the soul or for the clothing? For the soul?
It took a second.
No, I wish if they have some drive-through like that. But alhamdulillah, it's easy for us. Allah has made it easy, wallahi, subhanAllah. Just have to do this. So you cannot wash your thobe by ketchup. He has a stains of mustard and you want to put ketchup on it? It's not going to work. It's going to make it worse. No, you're going to do some fresh water. And even you look at the material itself. Look at this machines, smart machines now, the washers. They tell you right or wrong. For cotton is warm water. For this, hot water. For this, don't mess it up. Only cold water, right or wrong. And even the speed, they tell you the speed. And the cycling and how long. If somebody don't follow those instructions, what's going to happen? $700 jacket is what? He's gone. And he's going to blame it on who? Japanese manufacturer. Don't blame it on them. They tell you this jacket should not even be in this wash. Some people, they want to go purify themselves and they sit in some gatherings, whatever. You don't even supposed to be there. Because those ways, they're not going to help you to purify yourself anyway. Now, all of you attended the class, right? Now, tfaddal.
That you should keep your good deeds and your bad deeds to yourself.
Ahsan, that's another thing. If you do good, keep it to yourself as much as you can. That's good for you, for ikhlas. Except for the things that you have to do in front of people, like salat. You're not going to come wearing some weird clothing so nobody see you. Why? I don't want nobody to know who I am because I want to keep the salat. La. Salat is okay. Hajj. Where you want to go right now make Hajj with nobody's there? Just you in Arafah and Muzdalifah? Akhi, why you want to make Hajj today? I don't want nobody to know. That's not Hajj. You need to go with the people. But if you want to give some sadaqah now, you want to help these orphans, somebody has debts, somebody's struggling, you want to teach somebody something, you want to give advice, then you do it between you and between that person. Okay? And also, the sins, we don't publicize them. You don't commit a sin and talk to others about it. Worse, some people, they commit a sin and put it on Facebook. This is evil. This is bad, very bad. Don't expose yourself. Keep it to yourself. Unless if you're really struggling with a sin, now you want answers. How can I get rid of this, man? I'm tired of it. Now I know it's bad, it's not good for me. Then you're supposed to go to the right person. Don't go to anybody. Don't put it out there on Twitter. Hey, I'm struggling with this sin. Anybody got any ideas? It's not how things happen. Now you go to a person who's have hikmah, wisdom, somebody who has knowledge. And even with that, the ulama, they say, don't say, listen, I did this. Just say, what advice you give to someone I know struggling with this and this? You don't have to put yourself on this. Because sometimes you tell people what you do, you never know. Sometimes they just pull you out, man, in front of everybody. I know. You have your hand up and you have your hand up, right? I saw you, brother. Naam, Bassam. Keep going. Where are you going with this? هات الإنجليزي إن شاء الله إنجليزي. English. All right, so he said one of the things that help us to purify the soul is we have to adhere to the Book of Allah, follow the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the understanding of the Sahaba. No doubt. Now, your name? Abdul Aziz. Now, I asked his name because he moved here. He's one of the guests. So you should know, brother, he just moved. here, mashallah, so that's your brother, our brother Abdul Aziz, okay? Now, go ahead, Abdul Aziz.
Noble souls incline to lofty acts.
Ahsan, see, noble soul inclines towards good things. And the evil and low and base and soul go towards evil. Like, look, the honey, the bees go to the flowers and get that nectar to give you what? Honey. Flies and mosquitoes, where they go? Evil stuff and bad things. You see? Likewise, we want to be those individuals that wants to always do what is good, alhamdulillah. It may not be easy at the first, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-Kareem. إِنْ يَعْلَمِ اللَّهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ خَيْرًا يُؤْتِكُمْ خَيْرًا. If Allah wants and sees good in you, in your heart, Allah will direct you to that good. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-Rahman al-Rahim al-Kareem. Now,
only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not to swear in His creation.
Ahsan. Only Allah swear by whomever He wishes from His creation. That's why we have so many ayat. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالْعَصْرِ وَالطُّورِ وَالدَّارِيَاتِ. But we don't say وَالْكَعْبَةِ. We say وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ. Ahsan. We don't say وَالنَّبِي. We say وَرَبِّ النَّبِي. Jazakallah khair. Now.
Why do you say وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ? Why don't you say Allah?
Yeah, you can say وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ. It's okay. Actually, this is something Shaykh Abd al-Muhsin, the father of this Shaykh al-Razzāq, he's an old Shaykh. Maybe he's in 90s now, early 90s if I'm not mistaken. Hafidahullah. And he still teaches in the masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he was given, I attended that class, he was in one of the Hajj al-Ramadan, one of them. And the Shaykh was talking about that it's not permissible to swear by other than Allah, especially those people who swear by the Kaaba, they swear by, or by the Nabi. So somebody said, "Ya Shaykh, we come from this country, and it's a ada, it's a habit. Many people, they say, wal Nabi, wal Kaaba. Then the Shaykh, subhanAllah, gave them a very nice answer. He said, since it is a habit now that runs in your tongue, so he said, say wa Rabbil Kaaba, wa Rabbil Nabi. It became easy for them, alhamdulillah. Now,
Would you consider like istighfar and tawbah is the best cure for the nafs?
that's what we're going to find out in the upcoming sessions. Inshallah. We cross that bridge when we get to it. Inshallah. We'll see. That's a good point. But we'll see what the Shaykh is going to say. And inshallah ta'ala, if it's not, or if it is. Alright? Inshallah. ريان كيف أنت؟ كيف حالك؟ Ça va bien? Tu vas bien toi? أنت فرنسي فقط. Give me benefit, يلا, from the book. One small benefit. Huh? Just one. Half, yalla, just one half. One. Your cousin is gonna, you and him.
When you make a mistake, always, dua in your dua, you ask Allah to purify your soul.
Ahsant, I know. Very good. Jazakallah khair. When we make mistakes, and we do, we're not perfect. We Muslims, alhamdulillah. That's a great ni'mah from Allah. But alhamdulillah, we should always remember if we make a mistake, we turn to Allah and ask Allah to protect us, to purify our souls and our hearts, so that I may not go back and do it again, inshallah. But if you do it again, alhamdulillah. Prophet ﷺ said there are certain sins that the person is going to continue to do his entire life. But as long as try your best not to do it, don't do it while you're happy and you want it. But if in a moment of weakness you do it, turn to Allah with repentance and ask Allah for forgiveness and say, this is it, this is bad, I don't want it, I want to do this again. And try not to do it. Try to stay away from the means that lead you to it. But if after a couple of days or a couple of months or years, you do it again, do the same process. Turn to Allah again and say, oh Allah, I fall into it again. Please forgive me, oh Allah. Okay. Jazakallah khair for that reminder. Now, yeah, you looked at me, so.
I'm just looking at the sword that the Shaykh uses in al-Shams. Not only did Allah swear by His creation, He swore by Himself as well.
Ahsant. I know. We swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also remember, as we mentioned, we swear only on what is true. Don't swear on something that is not true, that's not good. And we shouldn't make it a habit constantly. Wallahi, wallahi. No. Just speak the truth, alhamdulillah. طيب. All right. جزاكم الله خير once again. بارك الله فيكم. We see you tomorrow inshallah for the session after Asr. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الله يحفظكم.